Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. Beautiful morning, yeah, the sun in my morning.
Okay.
Tom and they get a glass, something like that. We all have chai.
The fuck,
It's
man. I don't have glass and stuff.
I don't have glass. My family doesn't believe in glasses.
All right, welcome everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Chai
morning.
Show. And you guys,
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I need to start this by telling you I have a problem.
What?
I'm running out of chaya. And this is the Morning Chai Show. If I don't get chaya, how can I do this show? Now,
Somebody please send
anyone
in.
who's watching this, please send me chaya.
Go fund me. Go
And not
fund me, bro.
any chaya. Not any chaya. It has to be
Safari.
Carrito
Oh,
Gold.
Carito Gold.
Bro,
Safari is better.
Oh,
Anyone
where did you
who-
get it? From Kenya or from here?
Anyone who
Kenya.
knows, who's from Kenya knows Kenya has the best freaking tea. Anything else, you can't even drink it. So
So
if
can I
you
bring my
in
Safari
Kenya,
and show you? If you're in Kenya, or
please
if you have
send me
friends in
tea.
Kenya, ask them to send you Safari or Carito Gold.
Are we gonna start
That's
a
what I'm
GoFundMe
doing.
or Taya? Like, how much are you want to send it to live in? I'll give the
Yes.
address and everything.
Please
So, yeah.
DM me and
No,
I'll
but
send
but
you
the
my
Indian
address.
tea is not so bad. The Indian tea is good enough.
It's
too.
not, it's
That's
not
because
bad,
you
but-
haven't tried
Yeah,
the Kenyan tea.
Have
I
you
don't
tried
know
the
that-
Indian? Have you tried the Indian?
of course. We've been to
Of
Kerala.
course.
Oh, okay. No.
You know, in
Just
Kerala, there's
kidding.
that thing where every 5 minutes someone has to bring you a cup of tea. Otherwise, the house name gets, down.
Which family are you from?
Eight?
No, Indian families do have a thing. Like you have to keep having chai like
Or-
in the
well-
morning and then after
Yeah.
lunch.
So
That's
I'm
the thing.
exaggerating. If you go to someone's house, they have to bring you chai, bring you some snacks.
Oh, bro,
You know.
I swear, man. Like, okay, you know what? When you go to India, right? I go to different guest houses, right? Like 10 people, 10 houses a day.
Mhm.
The same chaya, same unniyappam, same,
10
you
cups
know,
of chai.
same sweet, same uperias. Like, I'm tired. Auntie, have some juice or something?
I always say if you go to India for a weekend, you'll go there at 60 kgs, but you'll come back home at 80 kgs. Just
That's
from
true.
visiting all the houses.
Going to India, you glow up too. Like, your face get moisturized and stuff. You don't need to put lotion and stuff.
And since Archer, you study in Dubai, when you go back home to visit your
Yeah.
family, I feel like you also experience the same, right? Like your parents would be
Oh,
like,
I get pampered a lot. For me, the first 2 weeks, I'm considered as that Saipa, like the madama who comes, the foreigner who comes, and then I get that privilege.
Treatment,
But then after
yeah.
2 weeks, it's like gone. I'm like,
they're like, we see you every
I'm just
time.
a
we
local
do.
Yeah,
winner,
normal.
yeah. I don't get any sort of, but I enjoy those 2
2
weeks of
weeks.
special treatment.
Anyway,
Good.
Archa, obviously you're a guest today, so why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay. So my name's Archa, and I am an architecture student, doing my 4th year. And what else do you want me to say?
So say one fun fact about you. I know it's under pressure, but or one place that you loved visiting, like one place that you've like traveled to and that you like loved and you want to go back or like live there or something like that.
I loved San Francisco. Maybe it's because of
Me
the
too.
architecture there. I don't know whether I really loved it, and I
Yeah.
would like to settle there. But no,
Me
that's not happening.
too. No, I
Really?
keep telling.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
like the
I don't
slope,
want to
right?
get
And the
married.
bridge.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't,
yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
know. I don't want to get married, but if you're from San Francisco, I will consider you. Putting it out there.
So you guys want to. Okay, why don't we guys go to San Francisco as a trip then?
I don't mind.
What did you say?
Like, as a trip, let's go to San Francisco, you know?
It's beautiful. Oh my
But
god!
it's
And like,
kinda on fire right now, right? A lot of issues going on there.
I think it's California.
Really?
I thought it was like LA area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think it's
Francisco.
LA you're talking about.
So San
Yeah,
Fran's
well,
okay.
I know it's closer to LA, but I don't think SFO has such a big issue as like LA does. But LA is the one that's more affected.
Yeah.
All right, architecture student, what's your favorite building?
Oh, there's so many, so many.
No.
No one asked an architecture student that question, by the way.
Right.
Every architecture, every building has its own charm.
But there must be
That's
one
true.
that stands out to you. Like, for example, for me, I can show you
Okay.
my favorite building. I don't know what if it's called Casa de Gaudi or something like that.
The
Is it
Gaudi, yeah.
is it Italy?
I think
Yeah,
it's
I think
Spain.
so, probably.
Spain, okay.
The Gaudi is in Spain.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, sorry.
The one that's too
Mm.
curvy.
Naughty
Yes,
stuff.
I think it's Barcelona.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
Barcelona. That's one place I have to go though. So yeah.
Oh, that's really pretty. I've never seen that. That's really pretty.
I don't know if that's the one. Gaudi
It's
building.
called the Casa.
Oh, it's called La Sagrada Familia.
Familia. Let's
Made,
okay.
and
In
the
Spain.
familia and the.
Familia means family, bro.
Oh, really? Wow! Good job, Tom.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah,
at
you
this
said
building.
what is it?
This thing is absolutely tremendous, and it's not
They
even
are
complete
they
yet.
they are reconstructing right now. So
Yeah, it's been under construction for a very long time.
That's really
Exactly.
pretty.
Look at that. It's amazing. So this
My
Looks
is
like
my.
a sand
favorite
castle.
the very own Taj Mahal. Never visited
Oh,
Delhi.
very
I
own.
don't know what it looks like.
Very own. You built it, right?
Very own Indian beautiful architecture that, you know.
She
But
already
I've
said.
had only bad experiences there because, okay, it
why?
does look beautiful, but then there's this huge ass factory next to Taj Mahal, and then
Okay.
it's still a controversy that's going on where they emit a lot of smoke, blah blah blah, all that shit. So the Taj Mahal, the whiteness of the marble is fading because of that. And literally the day when I went,
Mm.
there was this huge, I don't know, something happened, something went wrong. So there were like fumes all around. So it wasn't white. It was completely foggy, and yeah, I had a very bad experience when I
Oh,
went to
I've
Taj
never
Mahal.
been there. That's probably why it's
But
my
it's a
favorite.
very
Like,
beautiful.
And isn't the
No, it is
history
very beautiful.
isn't the history of the Taj Mahal being built, isn't that controversial? Like wasn't done by
yeah, that's
slaves or something?
controversial. Yeah. Not
He did it
slaves.
for his beloved wife,
You know,
Again, there are
I kind of
controversy
read.
on that. There is controversy that
right?
Shah Jahan didn't build it. Like, so I don't know, some other king built it, and Shah Jahan claimed it. There was a
Yeah,
controversy
yeah,
saying
yeah.
that, and like what Libin is referring to is that like because they didn't want to copy the architecture into any other construction, the laborers' arms were cut down.
Exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking about.
Oh,
That's crazy. Did you
oh
know that,
shit.
Archa?
No.
But also, I feel there's a lot of dark secrets in Taj Mahal too. You know.
Yeah,
It
like
is,
I once learned. Sorry, yeah.
yeah, so I think before Taj Mahal, it was a different monument, and they, on top of that, they made Taj Mahal. That's what I've seen in the history. So,
Interesting.
It was supposed to be a mosque or something like that. And
yeah,
then he wanted to show his love towards his wife. And then,
Bullshit.
yeah, so he's like,
What do
I
you mean
dedicate this
bullshit?
to you.
Wait, I don't understand. I don't know the point of like building a monument for
So
your
then,
love.
fun
It's just,
fact, I think she passed away very, like, immediately and she couldn't live there, something of that sort.
oh, her tomb is there. Like she's buried there. But I thought this was built after she died. That's what I thought.
Oh, as like a commemoration or something? I don't know.
I think so. I'm not really sure.
honestly,
Could be other
it
people.
felt like the build of Taj Mahal. It's basically like showing off that, oh, I did this for my wife and stuff. I don't know. That's how I feel like.
I would do that for my wife. All the girls listening.
Oh.
It's to be built in the
Yeah,
memory of his
memory of
wife.
his wife. Yeah, she died
Oh,
and then he built it for her.
Yo, while
So
giving birth to their 14th child. Whoa. Wow.
true
Anyway.
love, hey? 14th child, true love.
So
Wow.
yeah, Archa. Any building that's
So what
close
is
to your
yours?
heart?
no, that's the thing. Okay, I could tell you a few of my favorite architects. Maybe that
Okay.
would.
Nice.
Yeah,
You
okay.
could see Zaha Hadid. She
Zaha
is, her architecture is beyond amazing.
When she
When you
passed
see it
away,
itself, yeah, she did
yeah,
recently.
that was a very, very good
She
architect.
is, she is one of the most famous female architects around the world.
So
Mm.
no relations to any of the Hadid family.
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe.
You know, Gigi Hadid and all that.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. She does have the origin, so
Oh, okay. I'm looking at some stuff she built. Wait, I can
she
share it
got.
with you guys. Look at this. Beautiful. Is this real?
That's the thing.
Yeah,
When you
that's the
see it,
one.
you
No
might
way.
imagine, oh, how do you construct that? It's impossible.
Is this real?
It doesn't. Yeah, it is. It is all real.
What?
Her architecture is like beyond imagination.
Oh, it's futuristic.
Dude,
Nice.
Exactly.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster, right? If you look at it, it's like a roller coaster.
All
But
of her stuff is like
I
that.
think a
Probably
lot of
more.
architects and like young architects like they get inspired by her a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess
I mean,
maybe.
Archer is the example, right?
Archa is too. Like I all see that. You're so excited to talk about like how great she is, and that's really exciting.
Because otherwise, it's all the boring stuff where it's like rectilinear or like straight, and this is something out of the box.
That's great. What about you, Tom? And what's your favorite architecture?
He was
uh,
Googling it right now. I
no,
saw
no,
it.
no. For
He
me,
was. I had a feeling.
no. For me, I come from a place of Dubai, right? So Dubai has a lot of good buildings and stuff. So I like Tom Wright. I was searching for his name. Who built that? Burj Khalifa, Burj Al Arab, and all this stuff.
Have you
So
Oh, okay.
have you been in the Burj Al Arab?
Burj Al Arab.
Burj
Yeah, I've been
Burj
there.
Al Arab?
Burj Al
Burj
Arab.
Burj
Al
Al
Arab.
Arab. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah, I've
been in
been
there?
there. Yeah,
Is
I've
that
been
the
there.
is that the tallest one or is it the?
No, that's Burj Khalifa.
That's
Gotcha.
Burj Al Arab is a 7-star hotel. Burj Khalifa is the tallest
Apparently,
building.
one of my friends went there and he was like he ordered a cup of tea and it was like extremely overpriced.
Yeah, I mean it
Why
is.
Isn't
would you
that
go and
like
even
everywhere? Yeah.
order
Yeah,
a cup of tea?
Because tea
it's
is
meant.
alive.
No, but yeah, it's nice. Dubai has a lot of good buildings. Like
Yeah, it's got a lot of fancy buildings everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and fancy
So
cars
like
everywhere. And fancy
fancy
people.
cars.
I'm from Dubai.
People like to claim. Are you actually from Dubai?
No, I'm studying in Dubai.
Okay. Okay. I was like everyone likes to claim they're from Dubai, and I've always like had. I feel like every Malayali I meet, they're from the Gulf,
No,
and
exactly.
it's
Well,
not
okay.
Dubai. It's the Gulf, and it's
I mean,
always going to be the Gulf.
me being spending 16 years of my life there, it's kind of like half of my life. Like, I mean, I only spent 8 years in Canada and then 16 years in Dubai, so it makes a huge difference that I was like brought up there, right? So, I mean, you could say like you're from Kenya. I mean, you guys are like from Kenya, like I'm from Kenya, right? Even though you guys are not, you live in Canada, but you have Kenyan passport and stuff like
What's his
that.
point? What's his point? I don't understand.
Even I was confused.
At one
What
point
is
he
your
said
point?
I'm from Kenya. And I was like, the only way you're from Kenya is if you escape from one of the national parks, you know.
Oh.
Anyway,
I was like,
Archa,
what's his point?
are you
Yeah.
religious by any chance?
I'm a believer.
That's a good
But
start.
huh? I'm
That's
not
a good.
like in. I don't know because I'm scared my mom's gonna watch this. No,
Archer's mom, if you're watching it, she's very religious. She's just trying to act cool
I'm
in
not.
front
Okay,
of
so
us.
see. So the thing is, I'm not like crazy about like there are people in Kerala who's like insane. If something happens, they blame it on, oh, you did that, and that's
God.
God punishing you.
That
Like,
is me every single day.
really?
I
God, no.
I feel like I'm jobless because God's punishing me.
Yeah, you are being punished.
Shut up.
What do you think
Yeah,
about?
no, I'm
Yeah, so
not
now
that
you.
religious.
But so I
I
want
think
to
I
warn.
would believe in supreme power.
That's
Whoa!
Yeah.
What? Supreme power?
I don't believe
like God
No,
Almighty.
Yeah,
Trying
there's
to
just one
conquer
God.
someone?
Obviously, there's no like multiple like how.
Is it like Scientology?
Huh?
No, I don't think this is Scientology.
Where did you get Scientology from?
I don't know. Tom Cruise believe in that stuff.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
What
is
did you
cool.
say that had relation to Tom Cruise?
No, but Scientology is also, they believe in their one's science also, but they also have their one figure.
See, science had that. Science always had, like Galileo. All the scientists believed there was one God.
Did you say Galili?
But wait, what did I say? I don't know what I said.
It's Galili.
That reminded me of like someone that joke where if someone drinks a fish,
Galileo. Yes,
someone drinks a fish.
Galileo, right? That's the name.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Galileo.
If I'm
No,
wrong,
it's
I'm
not.
sorry. But
Galileo.
all scientists did believe in like that, like Archer said, like one God who, like, who was protecting us and everything. But but it's just that like the church had different way of believing. I read an article saying that like if you follow the Bible and if you follow the church, they're two different things. There was a long article about that, like how the church is not always following what the Bible is saying, and like if you like the path of Jesus Christ is different from what the church portrays. Now that's a different topic. Now that's a very interesting
It's
topic.
Galileo
But-
Galilei.
Oh, Galili. So I always like confuse his names. Okay.
You know
I said Galileo.
when you said
Galileo.
Galili, I thought about that joke where if you drink a fish, it's gonna do gulu gulu in your stomach.
Okay, Galileo Galili then. I'm sorry, my bad. But I think when Libin called me today of this topic that he had in mind, that's why he brought up Christianity and like how you are into church. I honestly had no idea what he was talking about. I'm just like, where did you even find this? Like, how did you even know? And I researched, it made so much sense to me. So
I mean,
ask Libin like where he got that idea from and what his thing is.
I
you
know, I know why you want to ask it, but also I know like it's kind of like not a spoken topic in nowadays society in Christianity. So it's part of the history and stuff. So it's kind of like I was just curious to know why would he ask about this? I was like, interesting.
Look,
I didn't even know this existed.
Archa doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Archa, we're
look at the
talking
face,
about.
like,
Yeah, I'm like,
I was thinking about topics to talk about, and I was watching this podcast, this Joe Rogan podcast, and they were talking about the use of psychedelics in early Christianity. Do you know what psychedelics are?
no.
Good, I didn't know either. So
Well,
people who out there who
Drugs,
don't know what
basically,
things are,
like
we're all
plants,
in.
hallucinations,
Well,
and
it's drugs,
stuff.
but it's like natural drugs. So stuff that gives you an experience that you can find in nature, like mushrooms and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I don't know if we should talk about that because I don't know if you'll have much to say about it. And I think you're stuck. Great.
Part of spiritualism where at that time they used it just to connect with God, is to make light and feel light. And there's also like in Christianity where it's a fertile cult where the crops grow and stuff, and they use these mushrooms and stuff. So it's part of
Christianity was a cult? What?
I don't think
Yeah,
you know
the
what
That
West
was his
it's
house.
I
called,
don't think
Like,
Tommy doesn't
it's
know
called
what he's saying.
it's called fertile cult. It's like
No, it's a fertility cult. It's different.
oh yeah, that one.
Mummy lied to me all along.
This is all theory. This is not real. This is all theory.
oh, okay. I was like, oh, I need
I mean,
to.
I mean,
Archie
just
and I
It's
were
a
like,
fertile
when are
cult.
you going to talk about
Do you know what a
parents
fertility
today?
cult is, bro? A fertility cult is really weird. I think.
fertility is about
Women's
reproduction stuff.
fertility.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's totally
but
different from what you said.
I think because both the words are kind of like similar, so I got confused with that.
Okay, so Livin, what is your point? Now talk about
Yeah,
it. I wanna-
exactly.
I want to know, what is this?
There's no point. I was just trying to discuss these different theories. So one of the theories is that in the Bible when Moses sees the burning bush and he hears the voice of God, right?
Yeah,
What happens there, Tom? And what actually happens in the Bible? What does God say to Moses?
People who have read the Bible answer his question. Come on.
Tommy
Come on.
is a huge Bible follower, so.
Come and answer. What does Moses say?
Oh, no,
This is like
What was he? Okay, wait. Let me guess.
Yeah,
Did
let me
God tell him about the Ten Commandments that he has to take a stone and then no?
I
Oh,
That's
don't think
after.
so.
That's
Okay.
after
okay.
when
Never mind.
I think God says like, "This is your God. Listen to me, servant." Something like that. I don't know.
Basically,
Yeah.
there's a
Out of
theory.
all you Bible
See,
Christians, aren't
There's
you
a
burning,
guys not pretty
burning.
proud of me?
See, God sent the God came as burning bush to reveal in front of God to speak to Moses there to take Israelites from Israel from that place and to move
Yeah,
right.
forward.
And the theory
Oh,
in connection to psychedelics is that the burning bush was actually an acacia plant which was on fire. And the acacia plant is known to have psychedelic properties when it burns. So, like if you inhale the fumes, you get a psychedelic effect. And so, that's
was
pretty
he
interesting.
hallucinating the
See,
whole
that
time
is
then?
Wikipedia. Don't
yeah.
look at Wikipedia. Look at the history
Moses,
books.
Moses
Wikipedia
got
is the
high and
history.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's because
Wikipedia
was
people
Moses
write.
high?
Wait,
And did he
listen.
think everything in his
Yeah,
mind?
Moses got high and saw God and like made the Ten Commandments,
Look,
and
it's
we're
not,
following the
it's
Ten
a theory.
Commandments.
It may or may not be right, but
No, no, this
there
is
are studies done in Yale and like in John Hopkins where people who have psychedelic experiences, 2 out of 3 of them say that they have some kind of connection with a being of higher power. Now you can call that God, you can do what you want, but that's happening now. Research is done now. So,
okay.
here, as it shows here, some varieties of acacia trees that grow in the Holy Land contain the substance DMT or dimethyltryptamine. And he
Which is
details
yeah.
he details parallels between the effects induced by DMT or ayahuasca and the Bible's account of the life of Moses. So I thought that was pretty interesting. You have any thoughts about that?
Wow.
I think, see, when you're talking about this, there's two thoughts, right? One is
Hmm.
talking from scientific way and one talking more spiritual way. So they're going to be clash of things, but it's kind of different topic.
Of
What do
course,
you
I'm
think?
I
I'm not
What
trying
I
to
would
convince
say,
anyone.
what is
yeah,
your perspective?
my perspective. Okay, I think it burned, but I don't think as a spiritual way of thinking, I don't think that was an effect because God wanted to show that for me, he wanted to show like he's powerful enough. That's why he came through burning bush to speak to him. Because it was in Israel is doing that time, they were like speaking, they were like doing unwanted things like adultery or like making gold out of this calves and stuff like that. So his intention was to come through the bush and speak to Moses, and Moses make 10 commandments, and then brings down, and then he sees this happening. So that was the intention, to come as a spirit, like more powerful being.
Ramen?
Look at Anne
Ramen?
raising her hand. This is not a classroom.
Ramen? You got your Bible wrong. See, this bush burning incident. This is when God tells Moses to go save the people from Judea, right? This is not the Ten
No, from
Commandments.
from Egypt,
This is
from
not,
from
yeah,
Egypt.
yeah, from Egypt. But this is not that Ten Commandments one. This is when God is telling him like go and like save them and bring them and stuff. And then he goes and brings them, and the pharaohs follow, and then like the whole parting of the sea, and they cross, and then they are walking to the land of honey and milk, and then they
All
start
right.
worshiping.
Regardless of that, the Ten Commandments are telling you what? To love your neighbor, to not
Yeah,
do these wrong things. And
yeah.
people who have these psychedelic experiences, this has been documented. This has been researched by, top universities. They say they experience these amazing, intense feelings of love and emotion towards the people around them and towards themselves and towards the world. So it's not so far off to think that Moses went up a mountain, did some DMT,
And still got
tripped,
high,
and
and
then
then like.
got these amazing feelings, and he realized this is what people have to do. Don't cheat on your wife. Don't kill people. You know. Now, of
But I
course,
think these psychedelic experiences that you're talking about, it just lasts for a while.
yeah, it lasts for a
It
while. Yeah.
doesn't sustain
Yeah, it
Right?
forever.
doesn't. That's a very good point. It doesn't like persist. It just lasts for a while.
But also
Yeah,
the thing
So
is when you go through experience, when you come out of it, you know like why it happened and how it happened and stuff. Like if you know that if you're in experience LSD is type of hallucination too. Like LSD is type of psychedelic experience too. So during that time when you take those kind of drugs, you feel your mind is light and you feel like relaxed and shit like that. So I
Yeah,
think,
but there is the argument that when you're on psychedelics, you're entering another state of consciousness
Yes.
that's not available to you in your normal states. That's the thing. We don't know. We don't know what happens to you when you're on
See,
psychedelics.
yeah,
These are all conjecture.
this is the
Mm.
theory, then there should be theory for every time God appeared in front of one of the prophets. There should be a. I'm not taking any sides. I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to like think out loud. Then I mean, people get high all the time now. Like nobody God and like comes up with commandments or like saves other people, other clan. So what was so
Mhm.
different from then to now that
Social
like people
media.
could see God?
Social media. If someone comes out and says, guys, I have the new 10 commandments, no one's going to listen to him. Like, bro, they're like, what are you smoking, man? But then, how does something like Scientology be formed? You know, Scientology wasn't there 100 years ago. This Scientology is basically a new religion now. And it just started what? Like, I don't know when it
Few
started,
years
but
ago, 10, 20 years ago, like it's very
yeah,
recent.
and it was done by one guy. One guy came up with all the thing of Scientology, and it's apparently big now.
yeah. I mean, so, see, there's so many things, like as Anne said, there's so many things in the Bible, like
Yeah,
even Elijah, like the chariot of fire, he was taken up in a chariot of fire on the sky. When you think about it physically, it's like, how the hell it can happen, right?
It's
So,
symbolism.
yeah, that's what I think it is
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
I think it's an effort for like explaining like how I don't know everything was. But my point, to elaborate on my point, I want to like really be clear. Like, if that is the case, like every time God appeared, they should have been some sign of like some psychedelic substance being around. And if that is the case, then like every single time, like when Noah was told to like make the ark, or like all these significant times that we all like look back and learn in our Sunday school and everything, they should have like a psychedelic attack. They might have been, we don't know, but that questions a lot of things. But that also makes me like think of how I've heard in northern part of India, like the priests still smoke weed to
Yeah,
like
they
get
do.
them
They do.
to that the spiritual level, like Libin mentioned, to open up consciousness that like you probably don't have, like
Yeah, they
if
should
you're
be
not
smoking
good.
weed. They should be doing DMT, man.
No, I feel like that's lack of faith. You don't need some external substance to make you like be aware of or come to a state. You should establish that. It's
I
not,
mean,
That is the
I
I
don't
argument
mean,
believe in
here.
that.
I mean,
That is
in
the
spiritual
argument here because
aspects,
yeah,
yeah.
we're seeing
Let
that
Tormin
like
talk, please.
I mean, in spiritual aspect, that is not fair. Like if you why would a priest smoke weed and get high and do things? It's not part of a Christianity or like any part of religion. You should like, I mean, I don't know which religion does that, but when you look at it, it's kind of like weird. Like why would they do it? Like, or you're saying that um there's also like other theory where priest, where it's not priest, it's pastors. Okay, another theory. Speaking of tongues, right? Speaking of
Mm.
tongues in churches, when like we say in Malayalam, it's Anya Bhasha or something, right? I personally don't interfere with speaking of tongues because I don't feel that is fully true. But imagine like some people, okay, when some people speak in tongues, it's rubbish, right? They don't speak from they don't speak that word when they're not speaking with their true heart or like Holy Spirit within them. They speak it like just to show off that I'm speaking in tongues. But yeah, so people ask me this question, like those are like who are not into Christianity, who are not. Why do the people speak? I don't speak in tongue. I don't understand the word. Like, what are they saying? It's like for longest time, I thought it was like okay, it is there and stuff. But I spoke in tongues too. But I spoke in tongues when Holy Spirit came in me. It's Holy Spirit is still in the body too. But it's when you like be meditate. Okay, that's a different topic. But when you meditate upon God and stuff, you speak in tongues. Okay, but some people speak it like just like that.
Here's another thing. When you meditate, there has been evidence. Let me finish, Anne. There has been evidence. These psychedelic substances, they're also produced in your bodies. They're just not in that high quantities that they give you an effect. But then some people can meditate to a point where they get enough of this buildup such that they start experiencing the effects of psychedelics just through meditation. I'm not saying that happened to you.
But
I'm just saying that
I mean,
happens.
my point is,
No, wait, let Archer talk. Let Archer talk. And we'll get to you. Archer hasn't talked
I
for a
Okay,
have
so
while.
never given a place
And
to this place. Guys, if we're starting a podcast, I'm jumping because Libin is not even that.
she hasn't talked for a
because he
long
was
time.
talking, because he was speaking of meditation. Do you know that in Christianity, I don't know about the other religions, I mean other the denominations, they say yoga is it's actually banned in Christianity because you're meditating and then you come to a point where you can control your own mind. And
right, Tandaras.
yeah,
Really?
something of that. Yeah, like it's there. We have the priest in Kerala who tells us not to practice yoga because we are coming to a state where we control our mind. And that's some sort of superpower that it's not a superpower, but it's some sort of power that we have.
External
Yeah,
influence.
but
It's like a free state of mind. I would say that.
exactly. So even when I was like, you're doing yoga, my mom came up to me saying, Archer, you're not going to do it. And I obviously I laughed about it, but then my mom showed me she was showing me newspaper articles, videos explaining how you establish some sort of connection with your soul that you don't depend on any other external support. Like for instance, you don't need the faith because you already know that you have yourself. So yeah,
I mean,
that's something.
see what I like Christianity meditation is not about like it's different. It's like worshiping, reading Bible, praying. So it's different without meditation. But say yoga, like they do this, you do this, you do this, and
What is this?
so you
No,
Do
Mocha,
this.
Mocha,
no.
Mocha
It's
Chidwala.
like this. It's like for breathing. They they use it for breathing like this. So they close one nose and close other nose like that, and then they press. Yeah,
Pranayama.
yeah. I don't know those names. Okay, so it's actually I find yoga is also like they help you in like in your physical aspect of it, like flexibility or or your breathing problems or something like that. That's what I thought about yoga.
Yes, Anne.
I have
Anna.
3 points from what you guys have talked now. First thing, Tommen mentioned like a few minutes ago that something along the lines of like priests are not supposed to like smoke weed, they're not supposed to depend on such things, it's not right and stuff. I mean, like, who said smoking weed is bad? Like, you think it's bad. I wanna ask you guys, what are the negative effects of smoking weed? And, like, from everything I've heard so far, everything that like we've all like known, it just makes you a happy person.
We need
Smoking
to
weed.
we need
You're
to
happy
bring
because I
we need to
don't
bring
know.
Noel. We need to bring Noel on the podcast and talk about this.
See, because I had this. Noel, if you're watching this, see, I'm supporting it. I had this argument with him like few days ago, like usually like 3-4 days ago. We're talking about like weed, and I was just like, "What about the negative impacts?" Of weed, Noel, and Noel was legit like, "What are the negative impacts, Amu? Like, tell me what they are." And I was like, I don't know. Like, people can get like upset and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna read
Archer.
this out
What does Archer want to say?
as a.
Okay, about the negative, I do have a cousin who is, oh shit. Okay, never mind. I know someone.
Oops!
Cut that part. Cut
We
that
know
part.
it's your cousin.
Cut that part. Cut
Yeah,
that
please
part,
cut that.
please. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know
Yeah.
someone who's a big time stoner, but it's reached to a point where he is so dependent. He's basically very addicted to it that if he doesn't get weed and if he's not high, he can't communicate with others. Like, he's obviously, when you're high, you are very free minded, you feel light, and you're in the happy mood. But it shouldn't lead to a point where you're so addicted to it that you depend on that to feel light and then talk to people. So
I mean,
my cousin can't, like, if he's going for a function, especially like
Cousin,
a
somebody else.
family function.
You're not saying cousin.
I'm not cutting it. Too bad. It's out there. We know it's your cousin. No one knows who your cousin is, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, my cousin
Don't do that. No, because I said the same thing Archer said to Noel. I was like, so what if the addiction? He said, "There is no such thing as addiction. Mental, yes, but not physical. Look, it's just like chocolate. You can have it a little and be productive, or a lot and be productive, or have a little and be satisfied for months, or eat a lot when cause you crave it and like sweet shit. Same thing applies to weed, Amu.
But can
At
I
the
say
end
Yeah,
of the
something?
day,
I do think it's a
being a stoner,
self-control
But
issue.
at the
but
end
can,
of the day, being a stoner shouldn't define you. What defines you, honestly? Okay, then he started like shouting at me because he was like,
but can I say
releasing
something? Can I say something though? There is
Oh,
also two types of weed. There's one is medicinal weed. Okay, I know construction people, workers, they take a medicinal weed or like as a tablet or something to help with the back pain and arthritis problems and stuff.
Can I stop? Can I just interrupt? I'll let you finish. To go into more detail about that, the two types of weed, there's CBD and there's THC. CBD is cannabis, something like that, and that's the one
Cannabis.
you're talking about. That
Yeah,
alleviates pain. You can take it as a balm, you can take it as an oil, and that doesn't get you high. It reduces
yeah,
pain, body pain. Then there's THC, which is tetrahydrocannabinol or something like that, and that's the one that actually gets you high. So there's this
yeah,
big misconception that if you're taking CBD just because it's cannabis, it doesn't get you high, but then it's really good for your body
yeah.
and
It
it's
is.
prescribed by doctors.
I know whether people use it. I know whether people use it too. At that time. So why? Like, is this THC is different, but people use CBD. That's no problem using
no,
that.
my point is very short. It was like making, like Noel said, it doesn't define you. Like because you're a priest, you can't take weed. I don't get it. I understand the stoner part, the addiction part. That's what Archer. That's what I also think. I genuinely think that you can get addicted to it, and that can be a very form of like dependency, and you will feel like you can't live without it, to do nothing without it. You become so dependent on it that all your creativity, all like if you want to do something that's like more productive, you depend on it.
I mean,
That
this is
dependency
my
on it.
opinion. This I feel this is my opinion, right? If you're a priest, if you're smoking weed or something, you're a leader of the church. You're letting people know, okay, you guys also can smoke weed. Ha 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 ha.
What's wrong with that? Like, what's? I'm not saying it is a good thing. I'm just saying like, what defines you? Because Archa, what are you saying? What are you saying to me?
No, I was just gonna ask. Just imagine. Okay, I agree to whatever you guys said. Will your parents be okay with you doing it?
Oh,
They won't be okay because
no.
they have
Why?
misconceptions about what weed does to
Yeah,
people. If they
yeah.
were educated and they actually did research on weed usage, and also it's a self-control issue. If you get addicted to it, it's because of your self-control.
I mean,
There are
eh,
alcoholics, alcoholics, right? Why is alcohol not banned in India? People on alcohol do way worse stuff than people on weed. Why is alcohol not banned in India?
see, the
You
thing,
know?
don't get addicted to anything, man.
And
Like,
Exactly. It's a
also,
self-control
yeah,
issue.
it's a self.
sorry. Also, Malayalis is one thing I want to say. See, the only issue is like, it's kind of cool. Like, I smoked weed. Like, I smoked marijuana. Like, it's fine. But when you translate to Malayalam, Amme, ne kanja valichu. It's such a wrong sentence. I don't know
It
why.
is. It
It's
is.
it's a conception of what
Yeah,
a stoner is
it
in
is in
terms of
India.
a
It's like
lazy guy that
Punjab is
doesn't do
like
anything.
Abin kanja valichu.
Okay, and here's an
That's
interesting
prohibited.
I
here's a
Thing is,
know,
thing
right?
is, it's not very, it's new to India, right? So it's not like,
yeah.
No,
it's
it's
always
not new to India. It's been there since I don't know, like
Yeah.
in a
50.
modern,
It's been.
no, in a modern society where it is already in village and rural areas, but not in urban
We never
areas.
speak about it. I think what he means is that now it's like a topic that we could at least discuss.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
Otherwise,
opening
it's
up about it.
yeah,
Yes.
because
yeah.
there was
So
like, yeah, I think youngsters back in the day they used to hear to Bob Marley music and stuff, or and then they brought into the hostels, colleges, and stuff like that. So back then, I don't feel like people had a. It is all in hidden. It is not publicized or like in a public area. Like now,
Yeah,
I
now
like when
people yeah, now people talk
here's
about
something interesting related to psychedelics and early Christianity. It was thought that do you know what the censer is in churches? The censer?
Oh, you
Tumnu
know,
Sanam.
Yeah.
The
are the
smoke comes
Vedanta?
out.
oh that
Yeah.
one. That's the
Incense.
sensor. I thought it's like
Something.
compare thing.
Can
In,
you
in,
compare
Yeah,
things?
in English, it's called censor, right?
All of us,
No.
like, what are we shaking, guys? What the hell? Like,
No,
all
that's
of us are.
that's the bell. I'm not talking
Not
about
the
the
bell.
yeah,
bell.
Not
exactly.
the
That's
bell.
the
The
burning
smoke
bush.
thing, right?
Smoke thing.
No one shakes it like this. They swing it.
You go
Okay,
like
what are
this,
you
just swing it
doing?
like that.
What is this? This is why you were never an altar girl in the Pali.
Like this.
You'd be shaking like this.
It's
I
supposed
think
to be like ting ting, and then you bow down, and go like ting ting, ting ting.
Okay, maybe she's right. Do you know Archer what she's talking about?
I mean
No,
Cyril,
basically, instead of doing this, she's doing this motion.
Yeah,
That's the
Kundiri
difference.
Kyab. Yes, right? It's Kundiri Kyab.
Yeah, she's right. She's right,
Okay,
actually.
I'm
I actually
saying
don't know anything.
Right.
apparently
Here.
they used to put weed in there. So the smoke that people is inhaling is getting them
There are
high.
controversies. Do you guys know about the retreat centers that you have in Kerala, where like they
No.
jump and then you
What?
guys
Yeah.
don't know about it? Like
I
there's a
No.
lot
know
of
about the jumping retreat centers. So what happens there? What is it?
so there are many controversies. Have you guys watched the movie called Trance?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
I've heard about
I
it.
watched it.
you
It's
guys
such
should.
a nice
You
movie.
guys should.
Mallu
Yeah, it's a
movie?
really nice movie.
It,
It's
yeah.
a Mallu movie, but then it's basically talking about whatever we are speaking about right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
cult. It's a cult. Yeah.
Yeah, so there are controversies where they say that this, whatever you call it, they put weed or something that makes you high. And
Yeah.
that's the reason why people just, they say that, yeah, it's the Holy Spirit coming into them, but they just, everyone, literally everyone in the hall, they just keep jumping and then they cry
Yeah,
out,
because
they
they're high as
dance,
fuck.
and then,
Duh.
yeah, exactly. So there are videos, in fact, there are videos that shows where the guy is putting some sort of something inside so that the smoke that comes out gets you high.
And they show
Yeah, and
it.
then, and then the funny thing is when the preacher someone preaches and it makes it more effect that people start listening to it and they get more higher than that. You know, they
Yeah,
just go
the
crazy.
priest hypes it up so much that
So
they're like,
is there
they
weed
just,
involved in this or no? There's weed.
It's probably some
some
kind of
people say
substance.
so, but I don't know. It's some sort of substance. Yeah.
But I honestly I like the smell of it. You know, when I go to church, it's nice smell though. Like
Kundiri
the
smell,
yeah,
not
yeah.
weed. Not weed.
You know what?
Smell.
Let's take the weed away from a church sermon. You know?
I have something. Sorry,
Okay.
Libet. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I researched what Tom said, and apparently the whole concept of Santa Claus is also like a psychedelic thing.
Really?
I know what you're talking
Wow.
about.
What did I said of a Santa Claus?
She's talking about how Santa Claus is kind of the colors, red and white, is modeled after the psychedelic shamans who used
Yeah.
to make these
Ah.
psychedelic substances. And the
Yeah.
concept of Santa coming down a chimney was about how when like psychedelics were considered to be really bad, people would smuggle it in through the chimneys.
Yeah.
It's funny though. I just
Imagine
laugh.
like the symbolisms, like Santa leaving you, like coming down the chimney to leave you a gift is basically like coming down the chimney to like give you weed.
Well, not
And
weed,
he's
but DMT.
he's dressed in red and white because, like, remember in the starting of the podcast, Robin said the mushrooms are red and white. It's symbolizing that.
No, it's symbolizing the
Oh.
shamans who used to dress
Okay,
like that.
but that's what Google said.
Okay, Google. Shit, we can't even have some conversations here without Google interfering.
Okay,
Anyway,
go on. You say.
Archer, let's take weed out of a church sermon. I really think
Okay.
what Tommen was talking about speaking in tongues, you know, is lots of people chanting and being together and being one. You know, that's bound to have an effect on anybody. If you feel you're part of this community and you're all have this common goal of praising God, wouldn't that have an effect on you? Like if you go to an IPL match, like which cricket team do you support?
Royal Challengers.
If you're in a
Bangalore.
Bangalore.
supporting your team, isn't there some kind of effect that happens when everyone is shouting, "Yeah, let's go, let's
You
go."
do it alone, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Chennai Super Kings.
So why wouldn't that happen in a church situation where everyone feels this connection with each other and they're chanting? I'm not saying there's any drugs or anything involved. I'm
See,
saying
the thing
normal
is,
human
the word
emotions.
No, thing is,
chanting
I've
sounds wrong.
experienced that myself, but then, like you said, I've been in a situation where I was around people who were chanting and jumping. I just like stand there and I get amused. I don't get the feeling of,
Jumping.
Yeah, but now imagine someone who's grown up and is kind of used to that way of life and like takes it super seriously, and it just keeps
Maybe, yeah.
accumulating and accumulating eventually, you know.
See, I feel like
Could be.
it's not about that. I think people do it. I feel like they're just doing this for like that, for the hype of it. But sometimes I feel like for me, it's not the jumping. It's that you need to be truly connected with God and in a spiritual aspect. If I'm talking about like the Holy Spirit should guide you and stuff like that. That's for me though. Like, cause I think I have spoken in tongues only once. That's when I was young.
You have
Um,
spoken in tongues?
yeah, I was young because that time I was going through tough times and stuff, and then I was asking God and I was meditating, praying, and then something moved in me, and then I knew it was real. I felt it, right? It is not any drug. It is not in that place. I felt something is moving in my heart. So I wouldn't say it's emotions too. I felt like I was speaking. It was a spirit speaking through me, and from that day onwards, kind of different experiences, like how to move with life and stuff like that. So it was a guiding part of it. Yeah.
What's wrong, Anne? You have something to say?
I'm teasing. I've actually seen. I knew you would say this, but I'm actually teasing outside. Nothing else.
Archer, what do
I
you think
didn't. I.
about that? Have you
I
had
didn't. I didn't know
any
people could.
profound moments like that?
No, I haven't. But then I do have my mom who speaks tongues too. Like she's religious to the next level. So I do see her, and she tells me like I get this sudden like something like what he said, Holy Spirit comes in me, and then I get the energy to just speak, and I've seen all that. Maybe I just don't have that sort of connection or something with God that I don't experience it.
Tom and your mom could probably have a nice conversation
Yeah,
in tongues,
they
though.
could like
In tongues.
they could.
Yeah, in different
And then my
languages.
mom blames me saying, Arshad, you know why you don't experience it is because you don't pray enough. You don't pray enough. That's the justification my
See,
mom comes up
I,
with.
I would say that it's not about that. I think at the right time it'll come through. So it's not about that. It's just yeah. I mean, praying is there, but it's about like where you stand in a spiritual life also. Like it doesn't need to be like everyone should speak in tongues. Not everyone has a gift of speaking in tongues. Not everyone need to be speaking in tongues. So yeah.
Why is Anne raising her hand? This is not a classroom.
Because you know
Wait,
what?
wait for
No,
him to finish talking and then you talk.
you call out. You call out my name, then I will
No, I'm
say
not going to do that. Talk
whatever.
now.
I
Okay.
was. I
Yeah,
think.
so last
No,
thing,
she
then we
didn't
go to
exactly.
questions.
This is
Last thing,
exactly
then we
why
go
we
to
said.
questions.
Okay, so I think speaking in tongues is like I don't know, it might be like a spirit thing, like because when I was like few years ago I wanted to like speak in tongues, and I was like I will, and I used to watch like people in church go like speaking in tongues in a Catholic church. That is crazy, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I want to do that. And I told my mom, and I'm like, I want to speak in, like, I want that gift to speak in tongues and stuff. And she was like, it's a lot of commitment. It's just not like you pray every day and then you get it. You have to fast. You have to like obey all the 10 Commandments. You have to like read the Bible. You have to understand and be stick to the Bible and God like nobody else was that like you. So to me, it sounded like when you obsess over something, like you just feel it, you finally getting it. It's anything, your job, your studies, your God, if it's God, or your passion, anything if it is. Like, have you seen when people like they love music? They're in love with music. They keep playing and playing and playing and playing to a point where they can create their own music. They're obsessed with it. It's like an obsession that is beyond any universe that you get.
I feel
Amazing.
like
I'm not
Anne is getting super obsessed with what she's saying right now.
not.
Did you see her? Did you see her start closing her eyes and like, oh, she was going into one of those
So I
states.
want.
Anyway, guys, we have some questions from our viewers, and let's answer them, and then we can wrap this up. So,
This is my exciting favorite part of the show. Questions.
guys, if you have any questions, the form link is in the description of this video. Totally anonymous. Ask us whatever you want. Who makes the better chaya?
Okay, how do you guys make chai? Everybody explain. How do you make chai? Tom, and you start.
Okay. I don't make chaya. I'm not because I'm
Okay,
not.
you're out.
I'm
You're out. Shut up.
Out,
You're out.
out,
Bye.
don't want
no.
Bye.
explanations.
I'm not a chai person. For I'm not. I'm not. I
I was
drink
gonna
chai on
say that.
occasion,
I'm
and
a coffee person myself.
But you're
yeah, I
drinking
drink.
chai right now.
Because that's the, like, I didn't have time to make coffee for myself. So I was like, okay, there's chai already
See,
ready. So
this
just get
proves the
it.
natural option is chaya. If you don't have
Yeah,
time, you drink
true.
chaya. If you have time, you drink.
Yeah.
Anyway, and
I'll tell you how I make chai. So I half glass of milk, half glass of water, boil it, yada yada yada, and then I chadachify ginger and lychee, cardamom,
Yeah.
and I put a little bit of extra ginger because I like the kick, and then put safari tea. I have bought like 9 packets of safari tea from Kenya. I'm never running out of tea.
you will run
Not
out
curry
one
sugar.
day. You will run out one day.
Never. I'll go back and get more. And then add tea and then like sugar. Perfect. It's so perfect.
All right, you win. Okay, you win. All right, you make the best chaya.
I think in my family, my sister makes the best chai. So
All right, if you
yeah.
do plan to have a cook-off challenge, who would you prefer to have a judge to decide who cooks the best? Choose 3 people.
I I think we will choose our guests we've had so far.
No.
I mean, okay. No, no, no. I would choose a guest who knows how to cook.
I would choose Anthony Bourdain, the guy
Yeah,
who
Gordon
shouts
Ramsay,
Gordon Ramsay,
I think
and who's the third person? Who's the third
Sanjay
favorite?
Kapoor from India. I don't know.
Sure, Sanjay Kapoor.
no,
Who,
what of our mothers? Our mothers cook better than all these Gordon Ramsay people. My mom
thing
cooks the
is,
best.
we can't judge cooking unless you eat the food,
Or
and we're
you know,
all in
will
separate
be,
places.
would it be fun though? Our mothers judging our cooking. That would be nice.
That'd be awesome.
Archie, do
Yeah.
you cook? Archie, do you cook? Like when you're
No,
in
not at all. Not at all.
survive in Georgia.
Every time I step into the kitchen and if I am in the mood to make a smoothie or something, my mom's like, "Are you making something? Like, do I have to like take a video of it?" Like she just, and then when I hear that, I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't feel like cooking, and then I just go.
It's because you live in Dubai.
Why?
When
Why?
you come back home, your mom is so happy to see you. She doesn't want you to do any cooking.
No, she blames me in front of all my relatives. She's like, ask her to make something and she'll burn it for you. She puts it
Okay.
in that sense, and then when I try, she's not
My mom
motivational.
is
I
the
don't know.
opposite. My mom is the opposite of that.
Yeah, my mama asked me to cook. So it's,
Anyway, next
Yeah,
question.
I don't know, but go on.
Are you guys ready for the season finale of 2020? What do you guys think? What do you guys think that will happen? What do you think is gonna happen,
season finale.
Archa?
And,
It's been a pretty
At
mad
this
year.
point, yeah, I don't know. I hope they find a cure for this. That'll be the best
you know,
ending
I
for
am
me.
so like pumped right now with a lot of disappointments because there's nothing can defeat my level expectations right now. Because at the end of the year, there will be a lot of COVID cases. The cure will be happening after 1 year or something. I don't think it's going to happen right now.
No, I think it'll be happening in the end of the year.
Nah, I don't think so.
We have a
I,
very optimistic person in Archa and very pessimistic person in Tom. And Anne, what do you think?
I don't care, to be honest. Reason one, I can't use a vaccine. To everyone who's watching or everyone who knows someone who's allergic to eggs, you know that you can't have a vaccine because you're allergic to eggs, and vaccines are incubated in eggs, so you're allergic to vaccines technically. So you can't do it. You
oh, I didn't
can't
know
do it.
that.
So
So
that's
the
why you're
pointless.
autistic.
It's pointless. Like there is or there isn't. It's not gonna affect me. It's gonna change my life. So whatever. Good. It makes your life better. I am happy. Good for you. But I just genuinely want to like really start working on the field that I've studied, and I'm so tired of this whole recession
Yeah, I
and
mean,
like jobless shit. It's driving me crazy.
I
I just
heard,
want to I just
I
want to
And I
travel.
want to meet my family. If I meet my family, it's going to be a Christmas with all four of us after like 6 years. So
I
I
I
just,
heard
yeah.
6 years? Oh God,
people are
that's
making
so long.
a lot of money through OnlyFans. Maybe you should try that out.
what?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Archa, for coming
Such a shitty
on the
goodbye. She's
podcast.
nice. Hey guys, everybody! Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The big
Yeah, like it. Any,
you
Thank you for coming on, really.
You're welcome.
All the way from
bro.
India. Archa has joined us all the way from Kerala, India. Sunny skies.
Yes.
And she has a nice big
Yes.
smile, which has brought
See you
a
next
smile
week,
to us.
everyone. Before Chaya. Bye bye.
Tommy?
Oh, bye bye.
Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. Beautiful morning, yeah, the sun in my morning.